With the sudden takeover of Syria by Islamist rebels driving out Syrian President Bashar Assad and his regime, there's renewed hope for the end of the brutal civil war. But Christians are now in an increasingly uncertain and perilous situation. Before this offensive began, Syria was home to an estimated 300,000 Christians. But the takeover by jihadist forces has the Christian community concerned that they're being taken back to the time when Jabhat al-Nusra desecrated Christian churches and imposed Islamic Sharia law. While some fled the conflict, the majority of Christians had no resources to leave and are facing a major lack of access to essentials, including food, water and electricity. In the midst of this crisis, we're standing with the persecuted Christians, as one of our on-the-ground field ministers, Daniel, explains.
It's okay for me. I am not afraid because I know that God is with me, protect me, and if I died also for God, it's very okay for me. I am brave with that, and I will go back and I will try to work there. So pray for me that I can work normally, I can see the people normally and help them.
Daniel, who had to temporarily leave his hometown, is urging prayer and support so that he can return as soon as possible to continue ministering to persecuted believers, even if it means risking his life. So what does this takeover mean for the long-term future for the region? Our CEO, Joshua Youssef, shares his perspective.
A lot of fear about whether or not these rebel groups will rightly judge and rightly govern with Christians and other minorities in country. So I would say there's a lot of mixed emotions. Is this going to allow for a flourishing of Syria, where you have all these different groups, Druze and Christians and Muslims, all working and governing together? Or does this turn out like Libya? Or does this turn out like Iraq when ISIS came in through the northern part of that country and wreaked havoc on Christians? And so that's what we don't know right now.
In the midst of this upheaval, we plan to expand our work in Syria to rescue, restore and rebuild the lives of many more persecuted Christians, enabling the church to not only endure but flourish and multiply. Please prayerfully consider giving to help our on-the-ground field ministers in Syria rescue, restore and rebuild the lives of persecuted Christians who've been swept up in the conflict. You can do so at htp.org/donate.